Get a very short break from this conversation with Mr. Kamstra, and we head over to Stephen Mbide. Stephen Mbide has the traffic update, just in case you haven't left your house and you're wondering how best you're going to be navigating the roads. Mr. Mbide, a very good morning. What's the latest?
Good morning, Romeo Busiku. Yes, indeed, I'm here in Chambogo, and we know that yesterday the picking of forms of expression of interest forms for those who are vying for the position of a flag bearer for Forum for Democratic Change in the coming elections were opened, and today they will be closing, but at least we know that Ambassador Waswabirigwa already picked his forms. And now I'm seated with a gentleman who is a farmer, a teacher, and a civil engineer, but above all, he's the president of Forum for Democratic Change. That is none other than Honorable Engineer Patrick Amuriat. Good morning, Honorable.
Stephen, good morning to you, and good morning to you all viewers out there. I am happy to be on the NTV morning show and to relate to you part of my journey, getting to this point as a political leader in this country.
As part of your journey, you are now, I think, making 26 years in active politics. But specifically for your position as the FDC presidency, many people are saying that, yes, you're running a presidency that is full of challenges. Many people are walking away from your seat as FDC. How do you describe your presidency?
The strength of a leader is found in how they resolve some of the challenges that come their way. Indeed, ever since the inception of the FDC, I think I am the first president to face really serious challenges. But these challenges have found in me a person having a thick skin that has been able to surmount the many challenges that we have faced. Firstly, immediately I came to leadership of the FDC, I was faced with a near revolt, where most leaders were like saying, taken by surprise about my win. Actually, my win was not expected, but we knew we had upped our game, we knew what we were doing, we'd done our work so well, and by the time I went to Nambole, I was almost 100% sure that I was going to win. But this does not come out of nothing. It comes out of experience, both in leadership, in office, in parliament, and also in the field. I'm a field fighter. That is the description that can be given to me. We've been out there in the countryside, being harassed by the dictator, and therefore this has strengthened us, strengthened me. But also it goes with the kind of training and mentoring that I have gone through. And I owe this to the founding father of the FDC, Colonel retired Dr. Besigye, who has molded most of us. And we have now come of political age and are able to stand on our 2 feet and move forward.
Talking about Dr. Besigye, he is expected to be giving a keynote address today at Najana Nkumbi, but many of the supporters of FDC feel disappointed that he's not, at least for now, they hear that he's not going to stand.
Who told you this?
At least the fly is on the wall, and
it will be only evident if two of the following things happen. One of the two. One, that the deadline passes. Two, that he makes a public pronouncement. None of this has happened yet. And so I think that the country needs to hold its breath on the issue of the candidature of Dr. Besigye, and let's wait. It's just going to be a few hours before this is known to the entire population of Uganda.
And so you still expect him to pick the forms?
Yes. Like we expect anybody else to pick forms. Because we are a party that is proud of our internal democracy. And this has never been disputed. We are a party of equal opportunities. And we practice this.
Would it be a blow if he doesn't pick the forms? Would it be a blow for you?
Dr. Besigye, despite his big political figure, is one person. The party is an institution. And so if he didn't pick, assuming he never picked forms today, Dr. Besigye will still be around.
in the struggle.
By the way, for those who may not know, Dr. Kizza Besigye is an official of the party. He is the mobilizer, the mobilization secretary.
From Lukonjiri?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, you know, whether it is Waswa Birigwa, who is going to take the slot for the presidency, myself, or any other person who chooses to pick forms between now and the deadline at midday, Dr. Kizza Besigye is going to be around. And we believe he will continue working. And he's always been very clear. He's not going anywhere. His is a struggle of a lifetime. It is either that the struggle is concluded or when he expires, that, you know, he will not continue.
You know why I asked you that is the fact that some people, some supporters were saying that if he's not on the ballot, in fact, they were mobilizing others to go to Kasangati to pick him up, to come to Najana Nkumbi and pick the nomination form. They are saying that if he is not on the ballot, they are thinking twice about their loyalty.
I think it largely depends on what Dr. Kizza Besigye will be doing after assuming he says he's not going to be part of this. It will largely depend on that. If his message is, look, I am done with this, I am now going home to Rwakabengo, and so let the Amuriats and the others continue with their struggle, then it will have a very negative impact on us. But if, assuming he does not take the forms today, and he made a statement saying, look, the struggle continues, don't put down your arms, that will be an energizer for us, and therefore I think that the FDC will continue to operate seamlessly.
Let's talk about the power campaign. When did you get that that idea, that feeling that now is my time to be on the ballot for the come 2021? I should be the flag bearer for FDC. I
have always had ambitions, but I'm very careful about how I deal with my ambitions. I have had ambitions to lead my party, but I have always taken a step backwards to wait for my opportunity. And indeed, true to the way I do my things, the opportunity for the presidency of the FDC came. And I never hesitated. I didn't have to announce, you know, years before that I was running for presidency. I took a shot, and I was appreciated by the FDC Delegates Conference and the FDC membership across the country.
And they gave you the nod.
And they gave me the nod. I am president of the FDC today. In the same way, I am such a person who does my work covertly. Once I was FDC president, I began to develop ideas. But those ideas did not have to be brought on the surface because they could have been so diversionary in nature. And you members of the media have always kept tickling me. You know, Stephen, you know, saying, are you going to run for president? I have always said, and my answer has always been simple. We will cross the bridge once we get there.
Okay, before you reach there, I just want to understand, now the opposition is so fragmented. You have, before you had the United Forces of Change, trying to have a galvanized effort of the opposition come 2021. But now, supposing you have Patrick Boy Amuriat on the ballot, carrying the flag of FDC, but you have these coming from different political parties, and many of the opposition members are also eating within themselves. Isn't this going to be a big struggle, a big struggle before the NRM, the incumbency that you have already seen President Museveni coming back?
Obviously, what is playing out today is not good for the opposition, because the tendency is for us to try to eat into each other's space. You have a breakaway from the FDC, forming ANT, and going with a few members of the ANT. You see members of parliament from the Democratic Party moving from the Democratic Party and, you know, joining NUP. Well, it's, you know, all of us look for membership, you know, whether we poach from sister political parties or not. But there should have been a better way to do this, for us to be able to unify ourselves. My preference would have been for us to go and poach from the NRM. Poach from the NRM, get membership to us, and this is what would have been registered as growth. For now, there is inbreeding, and you know what kind of product you are going to get out of such a process. But that said, the FDC has always been open to talking with our comrades, especially those who are into fighting the dictatorship. But as we do this, our history tells us we need to be careful about how we do it. And therefore, should I become the flag bearer of the FDC, there are three things that we are going to address. Number one is what a political party or group that wants to work with us is interested in coming to work with us. What are their interests? Number two, what do they bring? Number three, you know, can they be trusted? So those are the three issues that we put on the table and interrogate before we can engage in a coalition or an agreement.
The power campaign coming into 2021, if you are given the flag, just also want to understand from you, looking at your presidency even before the campaigns, that when we've had Dr. Besigye on the ballot, you have declared that your victory was rigged. You've had different campaigns, the Tuvalimese, Walk to Work, 4GC campaigns, and now, or most recently, is the Tuvalimese. But all these have not been the game changer. What, going into 2021, what will be that game changer that we shall see maybe FDC or opposition taking over?
You should consider, Stephen, that we have continued to build, and what you see today in terms of defiance, people, you know, shoving, even people armed, is because of what we have built over the years. And it's taken 20 painstaking years to get there. And so we would like to recognize that a lot of work has been done, and that we have reached the finality, the final stages of pushing out the dictator. And so the FDC is going to go into this campaign using two fronts.
Briefly.
The first front is that of struggle, and I think that will be competently led by Dr. Besigye. The other one is the electoral front. We go into the election fighting. We go into election as warriors, and I think, you know,
okay,
at the end of the
in
day,
30 seconds, today you're picking nomination forms, right? And what is going to happen today? 30 seconds as we wind up this conversation.
Well, I go to Najanankumbi. I hope to be welcomed by party faithfuls and supporters, and I will be there picking forms and will make my speech, brief one, and then we expect that Dr. Besigye will be coming in, whether he picks forms or not. There's an arrangement for him to give an address to the nation. So that's what's going to happen.
Thank you so much, Honorable Engineer Patrick Oboy Amuriat. He's the party president for FDC, and he says from his own words that he'll be picking the nomination forms from Najanankumbi. This is Morning at 10 TV. Thank you for keeping it here from 6:30. Now handing you back to Romeo Busiku, because he's there and is going to give you more information as we wind up this conversation. Thank you for being with us. Stephen Imbido from FSW Chibuga. I'm out.
Thank you, my brother Stephen Imbido, reporting live from Chambogo. He was talking to Mr. Patrick Amuriat Obo, the FDC Party President.